first project was to do a baseline carbon footprint of their asset renewal work that they do with Kent County Council.
We took those and developed a workshop to identify opportunities with key partners across the value chain that will drive emissions reductions towards GW Highways' target. The workshop that we ran today has shown that with a little bit of collaboration, then those targets are definitely achievable, especially if we come together, really create change.
What we're trying to achieve is really hard. Net zero before 2050, it's going to be a big ask, and no one organisation can do it on their own, but it needs leadership. And I think what I've really got from this is the leadership that GW Highways are showing and actually bringing together the key players. So getting Kent County Council in the room, getting their suppliers in their room, and collaboratively deciding what role each person can play in part of the solution. That's best practice as far as I'm concerned.
We're all quite corporate as an industry. We worry about our bottom line and things like that, but I'd say that we've managed to reduce some costs in some areas by being more efficient and working closer with our value chain and our clients. And I'd just say to everyone, you need to think about the environment that you're living in, the future of the planet.
To start the decarbonisation journey, first of all, understand baseline emissions, follow the science and what it tells us. The evidence is so compelling, and it's important that you align with science-based trajectories on a 1.5 degree pathway to make sure that our industry becomes net zero by 2050. Then take full responsibility for what's left behind at this stage. That's possible through accreditation and standard to meet objectives to become carbon neutral now.
There's been a lot of emphasis on energy efficiency, and that's great. So that's really beginning to dig in and have an effect. But we now need to focus on all of that carbon associated with the materials that we use.
71% of the initial carbon is through materials. There's an easy win there where we can look at new materials, innovation, and how we can apply that to the highways.
I think it's very important. We have to think about not only today but tomorrow and the future, and everyone needs to consider what they do, how they do it, and the life cycle of what they put on the ground. So yeah, it's very important.
But today's workshop has been absolutely fantastic. To other county councils, I would suggest it's one of the priorities that they should be looking towards.
We always say that you need to plan for net zero now to be net zero ready. It takes years and years to get that in, or your ideas to turn into action. So I'd really say yesterday was the deadline for that.
The global carbon emissions should have peaked in 2020. We need to halve them by 2030 and be net zero by 2050. And we need companies like GW Highways to lead and be an example to others, because actually what they found out is that through collaboration, it's not just good for the planet, but it's good for business.
I think it's so important that we work in a collaborative way to, make sure that the objectives we've got for carbon reduction are shared. We managed to have some really good breakout sessions where these objectives were realised and then focused upon, so that we can set meaningful timeline for those implementations to take place.
It needs to be a culture change from all aspects, not just from us as a contractor, but I think from the client side as well. And commercially, there's going to be some changes and some conversations to be had.
We've set ourselves a high standard here, and industry leading. It's been really good getting all the supply chain together, working in a real collaborative way.
I'm really excited actually at this point in time, because I think we've put a huge amount of work into getting the initial footprinting exercise done. We've been able to share those first year's results. People have found those results interesting, and I think it's sparked in people a desire to see a reduction in that carbon footprint. So at this point in time, I'm really excited for what the next steps are going to be of this project.